From the heart of Wayne County, this is Wayne Goldsboro Television, Goldsboro, North Carolina. Today is Tuesday. It is the 25th of October, 2016, and this is Wayne Goldsboro Television. I'm Wayne Alley. Thanks for being with us. Pat and Kate and Bria are all on assignment, we'll call it. How's that? That works. Hope you're doing well. Let's see what's going on around the area. The Wayne County Veterans and Patriots Coalition sending out their November list of meetings. Here's one that's going on November 3rd. That's a Monday, I believe. No, it's a Wednesday. It's a Wednesday, November 3rd. The Marine Corps League will have their meeting at 7 o'clock that evening. And that will be at the 2973 Highway 117 South. I believe that's the Post 11 of the American Legion Hut. The Marine Corps League meeting at the American Legion Hut November 3rd. And then also the same evening, Wreaths Across America, a fundraiser, Spirit Night at Zaxby's. And that will be from 5 until 8 p.m. That's coming up Wednesday, November 3rd at Zaxby's. 5 till 8 p.m., all right? The Arts Council of Wayne County, Sarah Merritt, announcing an annual holiday art market. Opening reception will be on November 4th from 5 until 8, make that, 5 till 8 p.m. Along with First Friday festivities, the Arts Council of Wayne County at 102 North John Street in Goldsboro, right there on the corner of John and Walker. We don't have Walker, it's John and Walnut. But we could have had a Walker. We just didn't want to. Yeah. Sponsored by Scott Construction Company. Okay, let's move on there. I don't want to read that. What else do we have? Don't forget now, if you're on Medicare, it's time to take a look at your plan, your Part D plan. Open enrollment going on right now with Medicare, and if you want to change your plan, you can do so simply by finding out about the others available to you, and you can do so by talking to Lisa Barker out at the Senior Center on East Ash Street, 2001 East Ash Street, now until December 7th, and it's on Monday, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays only, and it's 9 a.m. until noon at the Peggy Seeger Senior Center. Well, if you enjoyed yesterday's weather, today is going to be just a little cooler. We'll be in the 60s today and tomorrow. Overnight is going to be cool as well. You can certainly say fall is here. In fact, we're just a hair below normal for this time of year. But what beautiful weather we're having. The only mention of rain in the forecast is Thursday evening, overnight. So we'll see if that happens. Okay? The Goldsboro Public Library, let's see now, today's the 25th. This is this Friday. We'll have a Halloween event coming up. That's from 6 to 9 p.m. Halloween will be taking place from 6 to 9. You need to register no later than tomorrow at 735-1824. 735-1824, and mention that you want to register for the Halloween. It's food and games and crafts and a movie. Costumes are encouraged, and you need to register in advance for that. So 735-1824. Also at the Wayne County Public Library on Saturday the 29th, this coming Saturday, Cheryl Hinton Hooks of the University of Mount Olive will present a program, Beginning Watercolor Painting. Beginning Watercolor Painting. If you always wanted to become an artiste, perhaps try your hand at watercolor, here's your opportunity to try that. Limited to 10 students. Please register ahead of time, 735-1824. 735-1824 at the Wayne County Public Library. Just tell them you want to register for the class on Saturday with Cheryl Hooks. All righty? All right. Also that same day, how to promote publishing. How to promote publishing. Publishing 102 it is. It's at the Goldsboro Public Library this Saturday. Diane Wolfe, an author, will be the presenter. Learn how to identify products and budget and develop contacts, build an online presence and generate publicity. And register for that as well, 919-735-1824. All that's going on at the Wayne County Public Library. What a wonderful time of year. This is October 25th. Merry Christmas. Well, that's 2 months away. I'm practicing for that. Yeah, 2 months away for Christmas. I hope you have your holiday plans all ready, in place. You've done your holiday shopping, for Christmas, for whatever, for Hanukkah, for any of the holidays that you celebrate this time of year. Coming up right around the corner, there you go. And a quick reminder that the Board of Elections, early voting still going strong, as a matter of fact. I see lines at the Board of Elections office every day. Coming up this Thursday, the 27th, 5 more voting places will open, so you can vote early at those 5 other places. But right now, today through Wednesday, you can still vote at the Board of Elections office, Monday through Friday from 8 until 5, Saturday from morning till about 2 o'clock, something like that. And then Sunday from noon till 5, noon to 5 on Sunday. So you can vote any day, pick a day, 7 days a week. There's only 7. So you can pick a day and vote anytime between now and November 5th. After that, you have to wait till November 8th. That is Election Day. But it would certainly help move things along a little faster if you vote on vote between now and November 5th. All right? If you have any questions about that, well, you can go to waynevotes.com, waynevotes.com, or you can go online to waynevotes.com. Or you can call 919-731-1411, 919-731-1411. There you go. Well, we have the Communities in Schools partner meeting coming up, and if you want to be a partner, Communities in Schools of Wayne Celebrating Successes, the annual community partner meeting will be held Thursday, November 3rd at 9:30 p.m. at the Goldsboro Parks and Recreations Auditorium at 901 East Ash Street. I believe that's Herman Park Center. Okay, in the auditorium there. They'll have coffee and donuts ready by 9 a.m. The meeting starts at 9:30. And a Rootin' Tootin' Halloween event. Used to be a song. How did that go? Rootin' Tootin'. So anyway, I'll go see. Hang on. I got it. No, that's not it. Ragtime Cowboy Joe was the name of it. That was it. Ragtime Cowboy Joe. That's it. Rootin' Tootin' Son of a Gun from Alabama. Ragtime Cowboy Joe. Anyway, Rootin' Tootin' Halloween event coming up October 29th. Anyway, it starts at 4 p.m., goes till 7 p.m. at the Governor Aycock birthplace between Pikeville and Fremont. Activities will include candle making, corn husk doll making, also pumpkin painting, and a hayride, and trunk or treat, and a costume contest. All that is on October 29th from 4 until 7 p.m. All proceeds will benefit the Aycock birthplace. Some of these events, activities will require a small fee, like the candle making is $4, corn husk doll making is $2, pumpkin painting or painting pumpkin is $2. The hayride, no mention of cost there. There you go. All right, let's go to our next thing before I really mess up here. Our next interview is up next. That would be with Mr. Kevin Johnson. He and I took a tour the other day of some of the farming community, and you'll be really saddened by what you're about to see. All right, that's up next on Wayne Goldsboro Television. Today we're visiting agriculture here in Wayne County. We're here talking with the Cooperative Extension Service agent, Mr. Kevin Johnson. Kevin, I wanted to ask you about how the crops fared in the storm, what we're looking at as far as crop damage and that sort of thing. We're out in the southern part of Wayne County today, not too far from Arrington Bridge Road. We got a cornfield behind us. Across the road, we have a soybean field and a lot of damage. Tell me about it.
A lot of damage. Really, most of our corn had been picked. We do have a field that hadn't been picked, and of course, it's completely destroyed. Any of the soybeans in the county that were underwater for probably at least 24 hours are completely destroyed. And there's a lot of that. Anything along the Neuse River, the Little River, any of our creeks, anything that was submerged for an extended amount of time, they died. And now they're rotting. And people are talking about, oh, that stinks. And it's just where the crops are actually rotting in the field now.
Rotting in the fields. Well, okay, so soybean is a major crop for Wayne County.
It is. It's as far as acreage, we have the most acres. We have this year. We had close to 60,000 acres of soybeans, and it's kind of hard to tell what the damage will be. But I'm gonna say somewhere 10,000 acres are potentially significantly damaged.
My goodness, that is going to have an economic impact of some sort on the county.
It will. It definitely will. At this point, it's kind of hard to tell.
Yeah.
What's
early.
Still early. We're still trying to assess the damage, and we won't even really know until we get closer to harvest what we can and can't harvest. But yeah, it's going to be significant for the county.
Okay, so what about the rest? What about corn? Tobacco still in some fields.
There was I'd say 95% of our tobacco was in, which we were thankful.
That's
a
good.
lot of times when hurricanes, historically they've come in early September.
Right.
This one came in early October, so most of the tobacco was out of the field. Most of the corn was out of the field, so really this is going to be an effect on soybeans, sweet potatoes, peanuts, and cotton.
Do we have any idea about peanuts and cotton and soy and sweet potatoes?
Once again, we really don't. Sweet potatoes, I know, are going to be significantly damaged because the farmers aren't going to be able to dig them for a long time, and the sweet potatoes are going to set in the ground longer. They need it to be harvested now. And now they're going to sit out there longer. They're going to get larger. Some of them are going to rotten. And then a lot of our sweet potatoes are put in storage, and you don't want to put a sweet potato in storage that's been wet because then it could rot in storage, and then you just don't want that.
Just don't want that. But
Yeah.
they're too big anyway. Then
too big. So there's going to be some losses in sweet potatoes.
And this is primarily because the farmers just cannot get into the fields right now.
Just can't get in the fields. It's just so wet. And, the storms happened, 2 weeks ago almost now, and we still can't get in the fields. And in some parts of the county and well-drained sandy loam soils, they're starting to get in the fields. And I've seen some peanuts been dug in the last couple days.
Okay.
So... But even with peanuts, it's hard to assess the damage right now. They set out there too long. Well, I'm sure it's affected our yield, and it's probably affected our quality. Same could be said with cotton. We don't have as much cotton as we had in the past just because of price, but the quality's gone down. There's a lot of our bowls that won't open up. They hard locked is what we call it. And so it's basically yield we'll never get.
Well, let me ask you this now. The northern part of Wayne County generally will not be as inundated, of course, as the southern part because of the rivers, the Little River and the Neuse River, of course. But now they still had some minor flooding in the northern part of the county.
They did. Something that's our listeners really need to be aware of is that Wayne County had anywhere from 13 to 16 inches of rain.
That is significant.
Significant.
Yes.
So you got to think everywhere in the county had this much water at least.
That's right.
So there was flash flooding everywhere. It didn't matter where you were at. You had flooding in yards, fields. It didn't matter if you were in Fremont, Smith Chapel. It didn't matter. It flooded. But long-term problems, anybody that was near the rivers or creeks. And of course, the Neuse River, it runs from basically Princeton back down, Arrington Bridge Road back to Seven Springs. Those areas were hard hit.
Really?
The stuff along the Little River was significant damage. Casey's Nursery, a lot of damage there. Claridge Nursery, a lot of damage.
A lot of this is because the ground was already saturated.
It was.
There was already water, a lot of water in the ground.
It was. In the month of September, we had about 10 inches of rain.
So it just didn't soak up as quickly as it would have.
It didn't. It really didn't. It didn't soak up. A lot of it ran off, and of course, then that's where your flooding comes from. And you know, I don't want to say we were fortunate in any way, but we didn't. The rainfall event was east of Raleigh, and if we'd have had those significant rains in the Raleigh area, then we would have had more problems because of Falls Lake, and then you would have had more water coming down. It was really bad. We had Floyd levels, and a lot of places it was higher than Floyd. But, it could have been a lot worse.
It could have been a lot worse.
But as far as a rainfall event, we had, Goldsboro had 16 inches. I've heard anywhere from 13, 14. 13's about as little amount as I've heard of.
I've heard the same. So that's a lot of rain and a lot of runoff. What about erosion? We had a big problem with that.
It's a massive problem. Fields are washed out. You can ride around the county and see our topsoil in the middle of a highway. We had a lot of farm paths and roads washed away, which created some havoc trying to get feed into our livestock. And, as we try to market our livestock and move them around, there had to be emergency work. It had to be immediately fixed because, the animals need to be fed.
And I recall during Floyd and after the aftermath, the flooding and all that, there was significant loss in the swine industry for us here, and as well as others.
We didn't really have swine losses this year or with this event.
With this
flood? Not that I'm aware of, not in Wayne County. I'm not going to say further east there weren't some problems, but in Wayne County, we were very fortunate. I think we learned a lot from Floyd too, and it's in most everybody's memory. It's only been 17 years ago, so we did have some poultry losses, but it was bad. But those have all been the mortality. We took care of that, and we'll just start back and keep moving forward. But yeah. Very fortunate, environmentally speaking. We didn't have any real problems in Wayne County. Our lagoons, which hold the waste, they all maintained and did well. So no environmental problems. And
I was going to ask you about that. In fact, I wanted to reference Mr. Balance out in the northern part of the county there, who has his lagoons covered.
Yeah, exactly.
And would that have made a difference? Did that make a difference? These lagoons that are covered that's a new thing.
There's two farmers that have them covered. Todd Balance in the north, and the Granthams, Tommy and Travis Grantham down off O'Berry Road have them covered.
Right.
Basically, all you're going to do, even if water gets there, is fresh water laying on top of the cover, and you can pump that fresh water off. So there's no way that you can have, not unless the lagoon, the dam were to breach, and it's probably not going to breach because you've got a lining up over top of that.
Over the top of it.
So, but it's expensive, and that's why we don't have more than we do. But yes, all they had to do is pump the water off the top of theirs.
Major rainfall without the cover, major rainfall could certainly affect that lagoon.
Oh yeah.
Big time.
And with our lagoons, the state is aware of the problems that are going on in eastern North Carolina, and we're going to be able to get the water. There's a lot of fresh water went in them, and we're going to be able to get that off, and make sure that we're good, that all the lagoons are environmentally safe and sound, and we're good with that.
Excellent. All right, Kevin. Any final words on the aftermath of the storm?
No. It's a lot of losses in agriculture, huge losses, and it's still out trying to assess that, and it'll take months for us to figure out. But it's probably $100 million plus in damages to agriculture here
in Wayne County.
In Wayne County,
$100 million plus.
I would say so.
In damages here in Wayne County.
I would say it's it might not be that high, but it's going to be significant. I mean,
And we're a major player.
We are.
In the country.
We're one of the largest ag counties really in America.
That's
and true. So it's going to be significant, and it's going to take some time to recover from this. And you know, hopefully there'll be some help for our growers. You know, I do think the federal government will come in and help with some of this, just because it is the #1 industry. It's a huge economic impact, and they'll probably come in and help us some.
All right, sir. Well, I thank you very much. We've been talking with Kevin Johnson in southern Wayne County here about the aftermath of the flood from Hurricane Matthew. And Kevin, thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
All right.
Thank you.
We're back on Wayne Goldsboro Television. Thanks for being with us. Because of the aftermath and all the damage and everything caused by Hurricane Matthew here a few days ago, Wayne County has decided to waive certain fees that would be incurred otherwise. The waiver of certain county fees relating to the Hurricane Matthew and subsequent flooding damage include fees at the landfill for Hurricane Matthew and subsequent flooding-related solid waste for the next several days. In fact, by now, let's see, this was passed on the 20th of October, announced on the 20th of October, so 45 days from that point. That's a month and a half. Anyway, you have quite a while for this. Fees are waived for subsequent flooding, Matthew and subsequent flooding related solid waste. Also, waived fees in the environmental health area for inspections of wells and septic systems damaged in Hurricane Matthew and the subsequent flooding for the next 45 days. As well as building permit fees have been waived, which are those which are secured in the next several days, the next 45 days for Hurricane Matthew and the subsequent flooding-related construction or reconstruction. There you go. So make note of that. Okay? Fine. Back, I'm in the center. I'm in the middle. Okay. Today is the 25th. What's special about today? Anybody? I know. Here we go. Special about today. We have today is, it's International Artists Day. Hey, brush up on your artistism. It's also United, no it's not, it's Sourest Day. Sourest, like sour, like pickles, like sour. Okay? It's Sourest Day. Today is World Pasta Day. Oh boy. Howl at the Moon Night tonight. Boy, that's exciting, isn't it? Whee! Oh, here we go. Okay. All right. Today's trivia question. The category of the trivia question is U.S. presidential pets. Which U.S. president had a flock of sheep as pets, but the real reason this president had the flock of sheep as pets was to keep the front lawn mowed at the White House, to free up lawn maintenance people for a particular reason. I'll tell you what that is later. But which U.S. president had a flock of sheep as pets at the White House to mow the lawn? We'll have that answer for you coming up in the next segment here on Wayne Goldsboro Television. Right now, our next interview, we go to the Animal Adoption and Education Center, and we talk to some folks with animal advocates. We're about to meet Duck. That's next on Wayne Goldsboro Television. There is a duck in the room, and his name is Dog. Let me say that again. There's a dog in the room, and his name is Duck. Here with Nancy with Animal Advocates. Nancy, Duck has a little energy, doesn't he?
He has lots of energy. I'll tell you, he has missed out on his walks for a good period of time because of the flooding. You know, people were not able to get here. People are still cleaning up. He was accustomed to getting his good walks every day. And what he needs is a home with somebody who can walk him and love him and give him the attention that he needs. He's a good hound mix, loves belly rubs, never heard him growl, never heard him snarl. He will beat you to death with his tail like he's doing right now. but he is just such a good boy and makes somebody such a good loving pet that just has lots and lots and lots of love to give to him.
Lots of energy, loves belly rubs. Of course, I like belly rubs, but that's beside the point. We've got Duck. All right, here you go. There we go. All right, come on. Look at this. Look, a face not only a mother could love, but just about anybody for that. Hey.
So give me a kiss.
No, I'm not going to give you a kiss.
So give me a kiss.
All right.
So I'll give you a kiss.
But
How's
now,
it?
once Duck finds a home, the energy will calm down a bit.
It should. He has been, I'll tell you, you can imagine with any high energy dog being in a crate as much as he has been in one, but he's good in the crate.
Yeah.
He is kennel trained, so he could stay. He is accustomed to being in a crate, but he does need to have a home where somebody can give him some attention, get out, run with him, love, play ball with him,
Right.
and do exactly what you were doing right now. Look at that tail.
Yeah.
Look at that tail.
Yeah. Excited. Loves people.
Yes, he does.
Good with kids, I guess.
Yes, he's good with you, isn't he? Yeah, I think so.
All right, we have a small audience here of younger people who enjoy Duck. Quack, 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 quack. Yeah. All right, so how do people acquire Duck for a new member? of the
Okay,
family?
he is here at the Wayne County Animal Adoption Center, 1600 Clingman Street. His adoption fee of $60 will include his shots, his rabies shot, and having him neutered. He will be unducked.
Okay.
He will be
unducked.
unducked. But
All
that is, as you know, is extremely important for his health, as well as controlling animal population
It
should
certainly
he
is.
get out and
Certainly
run
is.
around. But really, a super dog. Love for you to come down and meet him and give him the possibility, perhaps, of becoming a member of your family.
That's great. That's great. All right, 1600 Cleveland Street, 919-731-1439. Come down and see Duck. Today at the Wayne County Animal Adoption and Education Center, and we're here with friends Duffy Fleming, Sally Brown, and Georgina?
Yes.
Georgina.
Georgina.
Okay, Georgina. Well, Georgina, who's your friend here?
This is Rue.
Rue? R-U-E or R-O-U-X? R-U-E.
Yeah.
All right. Very good. And Rue is a cat, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I guess. See, I knew that. See,
You're very sharp.
I try really hard.
Perception,
Yeah. Perception. That's my middle name. So Rue's a nice little kitty, relatively young.
Yes, Rue and Blanche.
Blanche.
We named them after the Golden Girls.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
So even though they're not old at all, they're about 4 months old. They look they're almost identical.
Mm-hmm.
They have been
are
here.
They related?
They're sisters.
They're
They are
sisters?
litter mates, yes, and they've been here since the third week in August. So they've been
Okay.
here a long time and need to get out of the shelter. They're super soft. They're super loving,
Yeah,
but they
are.
do love to play. So they have a little kitten energy, but they'll snuggle. Their adoption fee is $60.
Mm-hmm.
That includes their being spayed and rabies vaccinated. Please come down and see them. We're open on the shelter's open on Saturdays now from 10 to 2.
For adoptions.
For
only.
adoptions only, yes, which is a great way to come and visit
Yes.
with Blanche and Rue. They like to be together, adopted together,
Yeah.
but they're not so bonded that they can join another family with other animals. They get along fine with other animals.
Yeah, but still, they're sisters, and look
They
at how
are-
well
look,
behaved they are.
Yeah, they are. They're
very comfortable.
They feel just snuggling.
Yeah.
Great. Laid back, but
Yeah.
they do like to play. They will have their playtime, and so they don't act old at all, like their
No.
namesake.
So they enjoy playing, but they also look at this. Yeah. Look at that. Very,
Come and
very
find
sweet.
your new pet today.
Yeah. All right, $60 each. Number is 919-731-1439. And we're at the Animal Adoption and Education Center at 1600 Clingman Street here in Goldsboro. These Blanche and Rue need a home. So if you're looking for a new family member, these would just be ideal. They're small. They don't take up a whole lot of space. They don't drive, so you never have to loan out the car.
They don't use your debit card.
They don't use your debit card. That's right.
No, they're pretty low maintenance.
don't have to do their laundry.
No,
That's a
no.
good point. All right.
They pay you in love.
919-731-1439 at 1600 Cleveland Street here at the Animal Adoption and Education Center. Thank you.
Thank you, Wayne.
Thank you, ladies. We're back on Wayne Goldsboro Television. Thank you. GWTA. Don't ask me how to spell it. GWTA, formerly known as Gateway, is honoring all veterans and military duty, active duty military rather, with free bus rides from Monday, November 7th through Saturday, November 12th. Veterans and military personnel are asked to show a military ID or their DD-214 with photo ID prior to boarding the bus, and then they ride free that week, November 7th through November 12th. GWTA buses will also be participating in the Veterans Day Parade Friday, November 11th from 11 a.m., beginning at 11 a.m. in downtown Goldsboro. Schedules and maps are available at the transfer station on Carolina Street, or you can go online to www.ridegwta.com. ridegwta.com. For those of you who are still suffering from the ravages of Hurricane Matthew and the subsequent flooding, if you are one of those houses who unfortunately had to have their power cut off because of the wiring in the home, there is still shelter available at the School Street School, which is on Elm Street or Virginia Street, depending on which side you come in on. School is in the 500 block of West Elm Street, across from Dillard Charter Academy, and is the county-run shelter for Hurricane Matthew victims. School Street School is the Goldsboro-Wayne Transportation Authority stop. They stop there twice an hour, Monday through Saturday. Additionally, there will be a school bus stop for all students in the shelter. And if you have any questions about that, you can call the EOC, the Emergency Operations Center, at 919-705-6599 for more information. Okay. By the way, we mentioned last week, and you've seen several times, that FEMA is in town, and they're helping people out there. So is the Small Business Administration, helping with loans, low-interest loans. But in case you missed it, Federal Emergency Management Agency, FEMA, Disaster Recovery Center, the DRC, is located at W.A. Foster Recreation Center. And that's at 1210, better make that 1012 South John Street in Goldsboro, 1012 South John. FEMA has staff that will be available to talk to residents of Wayne County if they experience loss or damage as a result of Hurricane Matthew and are in need of individual assistance. The DRC, the Disaster Recovery Center, will be open Monday through Saturday, 9 o'clock in the morning until 7 p.m., and they're open also on Sunday from noon to 5 p.m. Now, if you go to FEMA to seek help, if you need help from FEMA, all you have to take with you and provide to them is your Social Security number, the address of the damaged property or apartment, the description of the damage, information about insurance coverage, a current contact phone number, also an address where you can receive mail, and also, as important, is your bank account and routing numbers so that they can make direct deposits of funds to your account. For individuals who cannot make it to the Disaster Recovery Center and sustain losses in Wayne County, they can begin applying for assistance by registering online at www.disasterassistance.gov or calling 1-800-621-FEMA, 1-800-621-FEMA. The Red Cross opening a volunteer intake center. That's at 600 North George Street in Goldsboro. It's fully operational now. Hours from 9 to 5, Monday through Friday. The needs of individuals and communities affected by Hurricane Matthew and the subsequent flooding are still vast, and as such, the Red Cross actively looking for volunteers. If you can volunteer, that would be wonderful. Opportunities include warehousing. It includes distributing cleaning items to residents, also answering phones, helping clients secure services. Warehouse volunteers must be able to pick up 25 pounds. If you can help, go to redcross.org/volunteer, redcross.org/volunteer. volunteer. That's going to wrap it up for today. Last bit of business for you is the answer to our trivia question today. Which U.S. president, and there have only been 43 men who've been president. We've had 44 presidents, but 43 of them, actually had a flock of sheep as pets on the front house lawn, helped keep the lawn mowed. His name was Woodrow Wilson, and that was in World War II. And the idea was to free up the men who took care of the lawn so they could go fight in World War II. Makes sense. And that's it for today. We'll be back tomorrow. Tomorrow being another day. Tomorrow actually being Wednesday. So join us if you will. We'll be here Wednesday, as we are every day, Monday through Friday from 7 a.m. and then again at noon, and then again at 5:30 p.m. So until tomorrow, I'm Wayne Alley, and this is Wayne Goldsboro Television.